Yo, 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 yo. Hello, world, and welcome back to Real Talk with Rajan when nothing's off limits. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you are here with me, and I appreciate that. I am your host, Rajan Lewis. Now, here on Real Talk with Rajan, everything's debatable, so in any given week, we'll be discussing anything from sports to music to politics. You name it, we'll discuss it. Now, for those who are new to this show, one of the goals of Real Talk with Rajan is to shine a light on the great things that are happening right here in the Low Country. And tonight is no difference, there's no there's no questions asked about it. The young man on the other side of this line tonight is definitely known for his work in the community. He's my friend. He's the state director of Blexit. He's the executive director of the Community Resource Center of North Charleston. He is Mr. Shakim Amin Aket. Thank you for joining me, sir.
Yes, sir. How you doing, my brother?
I'm good, brother. I'm good. So thank you so much for joining us tonight, man. First of all, I just want to start out by just asking, you introduce yourself to the people in the audience who may not know who you are.
Well, man, my name is Shakim Amin Aket. Man, most of y'all know me. I've been representing the city of North Charleston forever, man, all of my life. Man, I came up, just a regular young brother in the street, man, trying to find guidance. Ended up in the penitentiary, did some wrong things, came out, turned my life around, got back in the community, educated myself, started doing things for my people, finding ways to create opportunities for my people, myself, started thinking about ways to create generational wealth. I feel like I'm successful. I feel like I'm doing what I actually want to be doing. I feel like I'm in my element. Like I said, I'm happy. And my goal right now is to produce results. I got a lot of projects we're working on now. Definitely, man. And we got some good things in the pipeline, man. And I know a lot of people are going to be excited. I love working with different nonprofit organizations. I love working with, people in the community, doing certain initiatives. And, man, we're ready to take off, bro. 2020, it's going to be a good year. Started off kind of rough, but we're going to go out with a bang.
Absolutely. And again, for those who don't know, Shakim is the executive director of the Community Resource Center of North Charleston. So I want to start right there just by commending you guys on the work that you're doing. For those who don't know about the work that you guys have been doing in North Charleston, please give a little information about that.
Right. So right now, man, with the Community Resource Center of North Charleston, man, me and Lewis Smith, man, we do a lot of stuff. So right now, we've been kind of limited in what we can do, right, because of the coronavirus scare and everybody's kind of going back and forth, but we got an after-school program, right? Just got a computer lab built, exceptional. I thank Colleen Condon. She really did put her foot in it and really helped, stepped up. We got some good computers. We're going to be helping out. I want to eventually turn that into a full-time private school. I want it to be a full-time private school where children can come in and be taught by the best, educated. We're going to see how it works. I know teachers like you, Rajan, you have a good insight on what we could do. I think we could do something very phenomenal, something that has never been done before. We put it together. Community Resource Center consists of two parts. We have the social service aspect, where, we got the Just for Success program. I work with Austin Wilkes Society, the Federal Halfway House, on the corner of Meeting Street and Reynolds Avenue. Young brothers and sisters, especially brothers like me, who came out of prison. You might have been working out, losing a little weight. You can't fit the same clothes that you had before you got in. So, we let them look good. The director, he calls me, hey, Shakim, what do you have? The guys call me, give them all kind of clothes, man. We got brand new clothes, brand new suits, shoes, everything they need just coming home. We let them, we hook them up. That's why we call it Just for Success. Of course, we got a diaper bank. The young women out there, man, a lot of times, young women struggle. Sometimes us as fathers, we don't take care of our business. We leave a young woman out there by themselves. So they need diapers and formula, man. Like I got three children, man, that were just in diapers in daycare. So I know from a father how hard it is, if you don't make as much money as, the average person does, it's hard to take care of them children, man, especially if you're a single mother. So we step in and do what we can to assist those in trying to, make it day to day, man. It's a hand up. It ain't
Yeah,
necessarily handout. Then
absolutely.
we got the food bank. That's our big project, man. That's really been booming right now.
Mhm.
We get our fresh fruits and vegetables from the Low Country Food Bank, the largest food bank right here in the state, the most reputable food bank in the state.
Mhm.
We get a ton. We've been getting tons and tons of food right now, serving 3,000 people,
Wow.
a week. It's just been astronomical, especially with the job loss and the way how the economy is working right now. But we've been able to step in where the government has not stepped in. Man, we've been working with a lot of people. Man, we've been working real heavy. North Charleston Police Department, shout out to Reggie Burgess. Reggie Burgess, man, as soon as I picked up the phone and called him, I said, Chief, this is what we need. Reggie Burgess was there. Assistant Police Chief Greg Gomes, man, the man has been awesome. I can't thank him enough. North Charleston Police Department, they have been on it, and they really helped us out. They help us out. Sheriff Al Cannon, like I said, I call Al Cannon because we couldn't. Delivering 15 tons of food, that's no small task.
Right.
You just can't pick up. Yeah, you just can't pick up a pickup truck with a trailer and go get 15 tons of food.
Right.
You can't. Yeah, you can't do it. You know what I'm saying? You need a big refrigerated truck. You need big, 50-foot trailers to get the stuff. So, it's beyond our capacity. Nevertheless, we had Sheriff Department. It came in. Man, we've been working with City Councilman Jerome Haywood, City Councilman Mike Brown. Man, it's just so many people that we've been working with getting out this food and trying to make sure that the people have.
I love that, man. I love that. I love the passion that you put behind your work, as a friend of mine. And I want to keep saying as a friend of mine. And I know the amount of hard work that you put into this. I know that, at the center, you don't even draw a paycheck. You do this 100% as a volunteer, correct?
100%.
100%. And, so with that being said, how did the Community Resource Center in North Charleston even become an entity?
Well, man, Teddy Pryor, county councilman, man, good brother. Man, we all was sitting down, and me, him, Lewis, man, Tory Fields, and we was renting a location from Pastor Goss at Destiny on Azalea. Mm-hmm. And we were getting too big for that location. Shout out to Pastor Goss. We appreciate everything you did. But we kind of outgrew that location because we were, bringing a lot of people in and we were growing. So, we got with Teddy Pryor and we got together and put a master plan and we got us a bigger building. That bigger building allowed us to, hold events, be able to work with other nonprofit organizations. We got our offices, man. We do anything you can imagine. That's what we do. So as our vision expanded and as our work expanded, the location and the business needed to expand.
Absolutely.
So that's how we ended up getting in that building and growing the Community Resource Center in North Charleston.
That's dope, man. That's dope. And I just want to say, just your reaction and the reaction to the COVID epidemic. What have you guys been doing to try to curtail some of the hardships that have been experienced by people with this virus?
Man, it's been crazy, right? It's been crazy. One of the things, so luckily, right, since we were already doing what we do, just kind of getting into just kind of helping out in the community is something that we've always done. So we didn't have to forge a new path because we just continue to do what we always been doing. But we had to turn up the heat, and we had to step our game up. Prime example, I know we caught a lot of flack last week because the large crowds and, a lot of people was gathered around and our volunteers got kind of overwhelmed. And what I was trying to explain to people is that, we normally open our doors and we get 350 people, a week.
Yep.
You turn around and you open your doors one day and you got 1,500 people. That's a whole nother story.
Yeah.
We had to really sit down and, map out. And then not only 1,500 people in general, you got to space these people apart. People are frustrated. People are hot. People don't want to listen to what you're saying. You're running out of food. You got people that get a little attitude sometimes. So it really kind of changed the way how we operated, and we saw that we had some areas of opportunities. So we kind of went back to the lab and said, you know what, let's tweak here, there, whatever. But we've been a lot of people have been stepping up to the plate. Let me tell you something like this, right? A lot of people, and it's not really a lot of people. You got certain people who say, "Oh man, they working with Summy, or they working with Al Cannon, and and they want to, oh man, these people, they working with Elliot Summy and Republicans, and a lot of people they have talked a lot of negative things. But I'm gonna tell you like this: when you expand and the more and more people that you influence, the more and more you understand the big picture, right?
Yeah.
See, back in the day, it could have just been about Shaquem. Man, I don't want to work with this dude, man. F that dude, F this dude, whatever. And okay, that's about as far as you're gonna grow. But when you begin to expand and you begin to grow and you start looking on a larger scale, you got to understand this ain't about Shaquem.
Right.
This ain't about who I want to work with. This is about what the people need. So you got to understand, you got to put your petty differences. I put my differences aside with Keith Summy because at the end of the day, we're going to have to work. That man is the mayor. Absolutely. He's the mayor. Absolutely. But you don't have to agree with everything, but at the end of the day, that's the mayor of the city. Absolutely. So if we're going to work and we want to make a change on a large scale, guess what? We don't got to agree on everything, but there's certain things that we agree on and we're going to have to work because it's our tax dollars. It's our city. It's just as much my city as it is his city.
Absolutely.
So the thing is, it's just right. So, we gotta go and take care of the people. You might not like Al Cannon. They might say, oh man, Al Cannon, man, he's the sheriff. Oh, I don't like him, whatever. But at the end of the day, we got to make sure that Charleston County is covered. And I don't have the capacity, like I said, to go get 15 tons of food and distribute. You got to get help from city and government officials. So when you start really, really working on a larger scale, you got to say, you know what? This ain't about Shaquem.
Absolutely.
This ain't about me. This ain't my show. How can we get resources to the community? And when I began to put the community first and say, you know what, bro, it ain't about me. It ain't about what I want to do. Bro, I started saying, you know what, you got to work with people sometimes you got disagreements with. You ain't got no choice. You got no choice.
Well, I love that, man. For those who don't know, I just want to put that out there because I know a lot of people in different cities may be watching or watching it on the replay. Mayor Keith Summy is the mayor of the city of North Charleston, in which the Community Resource Center of North Charleston resides. Now, he actually he actually had a hand in making sure that those services. Just to correct me if I'm incorrect, that you guys had access to the building for the Community Resource Center, correct? So
most definite.
Yeah, so what he's saying, and I definitely agree with what Shaquem is saying in regards to we can't let our petty squabbles push the work to the side. There's a lot of work that needs to be done in the community. For those who know me and know what I'm about, like I'm all about getting the work done. And Shaquem is definitely one of those people. Whether or not you agree with his methods, the man is definitely getting the work done. And speaking of getting the work done, when you speak about when you think on the larger scale, when you think about, because you started out as an activist, you started out as an activist in the game. What is the difference?
Cursing people out, all kind of stuff.
Right. So what's the difference between Shaquem now and Shaquem back when Shaquem first got started?
Bro, I got smarter. Right? Trial and error, experience. I elevated my game. I elevated my thought process. See, back in the day, right? Like it was more about, I went through a transformation. You know what I'm saying? It took me a while, and it took me to experience certain things in order for me to say, you know what, bruh, it's not about me. I gotta look at the bigger picture. Prime example, right? Like when I was in activism, screaming and yelling, it sounded good, but at the end of the day, I didn't really get it. I didn't get anything done. You really don't. Take this for example, right? Everybody said I started South Carolina RBG,
Okay.
red, black, and green.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I started that. You know, nobody. I was flying, and I still do fly my red, black, and green flag. That represents us as a people. But see, the thing is, it was more of a symbol versus substance.
Yeah. Okay.
See, people just want to fly it as a fad, and you know, so they could scream, you know, Black Power, and, you know, I'm black and I'm, you know, black this, black man, black this, black that. It's good to scream it, but are you really how are you really helping your people?
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you have programs that you could teach the children how to read, write, understand math, history? Do you have a program where, you know, you can talk about affordable housing, help people get access to better healthcare, you know, about the day-to-day things in life? Like you go in certain neighborhoods, the infrastructure might be bad. How can I help these people get a stop sign or a stoplight? Because their kids are getting hit or have to play in the middle of the street and they don't have a sidewalk. It's little things like that in our communities that we need. See, the talking and the that sounds good, but at the end of the day, you're not getting nothing accomplished. So, to be honest, and I'm gonna be honest with you, you know, and when we really had a lot of the red, black, and green movement going on, it's still there, you know, but it's not as loud as it was. It died off because people were just fighting each other. That's it. It was verbal black on black crime. They say, man, I don't mess with the white man, but all you see all day is black people arguing with each other, fighting with each other, you know, cursing each other out, calling each other names, disrespecting people, all of that. You know what I'm saying? So at a certain point in time, I had to realize, you know what? I can't stay on this level. I got to move up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I got to move up. Yeah. I can't stay with you fighting and arguing and you beefing because you fighting because the ancient Egyptians and the ancient Nubians, you trying to figure out which one of them came first, or what civilization in Africa came first, and you about to fight. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, it don't matter what African civilization came first. What are you doing? If you say you are the descendants of the builders of the pyramid, what have you built today?
Wow, that's something.
What are you building?
That's something. That's something. Wow. So
my mentality, I had to change up and say, you know what, bro, I gotta build something. Putting in the work is where you separate the men from the boys.
Right.
So you putting in the work. And that's the thing, man. It's easy to bash somebody and talk trash, you know, and I done did it so many times. And, you know, I done been the target and I done put the target on people.
Right.
But at the end of the day, when you start wisening up, you say, man, you know what, bro, I wasted a lot of time and foolishness and I could have been building something.
Wow.
Could have been building something. So that's why right now, my whole thing is we got to build something. What are we gonna build? What are we gonna build in North Charleston? What are we gonna build in Somerville? What are we gonna build downtown? Like, we got so much stuff, and I'm sorry I keep going on and on.
Good.
But word. Like another thing is this, right? Like all of this real estate in the area. Like, how are we gonna put our money together and establish something to where, you know, we can have something to pass down for our children? How can we pass down generational wealth instead of generational poverty? Because right now, when we die, we passing down generational poverty. Yeah. My children are inheriting my bills after death. They got to pay off this. They got to pay off that. My children are in debt, or our children are in debt when we die. So we passing down generational poverty. We should be passing down generational wealth.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Yeah, man, that's a lot, man. Like, I mean, one, I can definitely tell. I've known you for quite a few years now. I think at least 3 years now.
Yeah. Oh
Um,
yeah.
in fact, I
But
mean, shoot,
I knew your family since I've been
yeah,
a little
yeah. Like
boy now.
we go back,
Remember
to life.
your grandmama, bro. Yeah, yeah.
Shout out to Miss Joyce, man. But yeah, shout out. We go back, like, in fact, like knowing you, I've known you for about 3 years, but we've been in the same places since like we were little. But I definitely know, I can see the growth that has happened in you in the last few years,
Yeah.
man. And I've watched it, and I'm gonna say it again. We're gonna get to that other stuff. I don't agree with all your moves, but I definitely understand the heart behind it.
Word,
No, we'll get there. We'll get
word.
there. Trust me. I'm slow
Yeah,
rolling it.
word.
But I definitely know the heart behind any move that you make. I know the heart behind any move that you make. So even when I'm talking to, somebody comes and say, "Hey man, you see what Shakim did?" I'm like, I know the man. I know the heart behind the man. So I know if he's doing something, what he's doing, he believes is the right thing to do to accomplish his mission. So let's go to
Right.
those things that you're moving towards that are helping you to accomplish the missions. So let's talk about Blexit. First of all, explain Blexit to people who don't know what Blexit is.
Man, I love Blexit, man. Blexit is a movement started by Candace Owens and Brandon Tatum. It's the black exit out of the Democratic Party. And one of the things that people don't understand, right, is, man, I talked to Candace, several times, and you might not agree with what she does or what she says, but at the end of the day, there's something that, and I remember she was saying about how we have to hold Democrats and Republicans accountable. We got to hold them accountable.
Okay.
The thing is, we know how to hold the Republicans accountable. We don't even trust them. They don't even. We can hold them accountable in the blink of an eye, snap of a finger. I don't trust you. Whenever we see them getting within 6 feet of our peripheral vision, I don't want to touch you.
Okay.
How can we take that same level of scrutiny and apply it to a Democrat, a libertarian, a progressive? How can we take that same keen eye in which we see the faults of the right and take it and apply it to the left? And both sides, we gotta balance it out. You know what I'm saying? We gotta balance it out. So I believe in the world of politics, we need black people on both sides.
Okay.
We need black people on both sides, because a lot of times, to be honest with you, like me, the reason why I'm more conservative in my thought process is because I'm not a fan of big government. I don't like big government. I feel like the more government you have in your life, the greater the possibility for systemic racism and and discrimination and all of that. I feel like big government, you got to be careful, because when government starts controlling your life, then you can end up in a bad situation.
Yeah.
Prime example, just say I want to go into real estate, but I got a marijuana charge, and the government says I can't get a real estate license because I got a marijuana conviction in 2015. I believe that's the type of government oversight that really hurts us. Now, if I got caught, selling bogus credit reports or something crazy out of the blue and fraud in the mortgage industry, okay, yeah, then I should not be able to be a real estate agent. But
yes,
when the crime is and nowhere near matches the field that you want to be in, I feel like that's when government oversight is scary. It's like stop and frisk. When the government turns around and says, okay, we don't have to even adhere to the Fourth Amendment. If a police officer sees you and you look suspicious, we're going to jump out, we're going to pat you down and do a Terry stop, an investigatory stop. I think that's wrong. Government has always been known to overreach. So I feel like we got to be careful with how much power that we give the government. Also, I feel like the Democratic Party has turned into the oppression Olympics.
Okay.
I'm going to repeat that again. Right. I feel like the Democratic Party has turned into the oppression Olympics. Everybody wants to feel like they're oppressed the most. The women want to feel like we're oppressed the most. Black people, no, we're oppressed the most. LGBTQ, no, we're oppressed the most. The black man, no, we're oppressed the most. Everybody wants to talk about how they feel like their particular demographic is oppressed the most.
Mhm.
And that is about how far the conversation goes. Everybody wants to be classified as disadvantaged, and everybody wants to be classified as we're underserved, and all of these terms that designate a title of impotency. You embrace a title that says, you know what, I'm demeaning myself because I can't go any further. And I think we play on that so hard in the Democratic Party, because like I said, I grew up Democrat all my life. So I think it's turning into the oppression Olympics versus people saying, you know what, let's go out and get it. Just prime example. Let's look at Tim Scott with the opportunity zones.
Okay.
I sat down and I've been studying the opportunity zones. We've been studying how we can take advantage of a lot of the things that are passed, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of opportunity and money available. We just got to research and look. But if I go and ask a brother or sister about opportunity zone, oh man, see, that just helps developers and gentrification. Now, that's just a way how you gentrify a neighborhood. Okay, so if you sit back and you do nothing, your neighborhood will be gentrified. Yeah. If we don't take advantage, but I believe that we have the same opportunity as everybody else.
Okay.
No white man is holding me back right now. Okay. No white man can hold me back right now. I can't nobody tell me if somebody say, Shakim, the white man is oppressing you, the white man can't oppress me. Like my mind, if I put my mind to anything, I can overcome. I'm not saying that people aren't ever going to try, but I'm saying if somebody tries, just know that nobody can oppress you.
Yeah.
And this is the type of mentality that I think we got to start adopting. And as a party, with the Democratic Party, it doesn't force that type of conversation. It doesn't force us to start thinking in terms of how can we empower ourselves. I think it's steadily, I don't call white people privileged. Mm-hmm. I don't buy into, you ain't gonna never hear me tell a white person that they privileged. No, because if you embrace the title that's bestowed upon you. So if I'm steadily saying, oh, this white person is privileged, and I'm calling myself oppressed, then naturally in my mind, what is my reality? My reality is going to be the white man is privileged, the black man is oppressed. But we got to break that. But we can be privileged. We can have the same that everybody else has. We could create our opportunities. We just have to withdraw our name out of the oppression Olympics.
All right. So let's talk about that. So you do not believe in white privilege?
No.
Okay.
No.
So you do not. So I just want to ask a few questions. So you do not believe that just purely based on the color of a person's skin or the box that they check on a loan application, they're more likely to get a loan?
Okay. So this is the thing, right? This is the thing. Just because somebody else looks out for their people, I should be looking out for my people too.
Oh, I agree. I agree.
Yeah, I'm saying I could do the same thing. I could say, you know what? This is my homeboy right here. Yeah. I'm gonna look out for him, which we should be doing. Yeah. See, we should be doing the same thing, not necessarily not in a bad way to where, I don't want to make it. We should never do anybody wrong, or we should never
Nobody do right. Nobody, yeah.
Right. We should never do anything right. We should do, but you can't fault me if you can't fault me for looking out for my friend or the people who supported me. Like, I'm gonna look out for the people who support me.
Okay, but I can fault you if systematically that's caused an achievement, education, and economical gap across the country.
Right.
I can do that, especially when there's certain things that are put in that have governmentally been put in place to stop those kinds of things from happening, and you're literally breaking laws to do those kinds of things. And when they're held to task, now mind you, this is not me making a Democratic versus a conservative, because I don't think this is a Democratic or conservative issue. I think this, when we talk about white privilege, this is something that we have to look at as a country institutionally and say, okay, that's not good, and we can't stand behind that. Like we can't remove that from the equation. Like, people do look out for their people, right? I'll give you a great example, right? You have a relationship with the Summies, right? Because you have that relationship, they're looking out for you to make sure that you have the building that you have, right? That's not an issue, right?
Well, not. I mean, not all the way like that,
no,
but
I mean, like, it's, but it's, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's a good thing. You're my homeboy. So when I do my show, I try to make sure that I get my homeboys on before I get anybody else on. That's great. But I'm not costing anybody their livelihood by doing this. I'm not taking this opportunity. I'm not taking an opportunity from somebody else who could use it more than I could, and then looking on the other side and saying, ha, 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 nobody's going to show you. Nobody's going to put you on a show. Nobody's going to put you on their camera, because, I mean, I'm nobody at the end of the day. Right. But when you create institutional structures that limit the capability of people to rise out of an oppressive situation, I mean, can we say that funny can we say that there are no structures that have been put in place institutionally to systematically oppress African Americans and people of color in our country for years?
Okay, so this is the thing. There has been a structure, but the thing is, we get so caught up on studying their structure that we don't study our structure.
And we should study our structure.
See, there's a way out of it.
Yeah.
Amos Wilson, one of the best books that I read that taught me to understand how to build our structure or build a structure that can eliminate what they built, was by Dr. Amos Wilson, called The Blueprint for Black Power.
Okay.
So black people don't think, oh, that's racist. No, black people, because black people, oh, that's racist. It's not racist. All he's saying is that there are ways that we as black people can create opportunity to build wealth and to reach back into our communities and to build up the communities where we live. See, I think we spend so much time trying to analyze how the white man set this up, the white man set that up, the white man set this up, but we don't sit back and say, you know what? How can I create opportunity in my neighborhood? How can I better the educational process? Okay, this is what a lot of people say. Let me trip you out, and you know this better than anybody else.
I'm with you.
All right, check this out. Everybody say, man, black people. Oh, and I'm gonna address that redlining. There's a way we can beat that. Dr. Amos Wilson talks about that in The Blueprint for Black Power. Mm-hmm. There's a way that we can create our wealth and use it. He talks about susus, where black people put our money together and it acts as a bank. If we turn around and we invest the money, and each person gets a chance to invest the money on their own, and they put the money back in the pot with interest. Mm-hmm. See, we don't see, the thing is, these concepts are foreign to us, but we can give a whole exegesis about redlining and how we're X'd out of their system, but we don't understand that there's a system that we can put together to help our communities to where we can invest. Mm-hmm. See, that's what I'm saying. We're not solution oriented.
Yeah.
But let me trip you out. Right now, what I do, I made it my goal that I'm gonna support. Okay, no. Before I go there, let's talk about the schools. Let's talk about the schools. This is what people trip me out. They be like, man, black people, We need our own schools. We need our own schools, man. You know, we need all black schools. They tell you that in a heartbeat. But right now, North Charleston High School is doggone almost an all black school. Chicora Elementary is almost an all black school. But do you see the people who running their mouth going in these schools and helping? You don't. You don't. You got black teachers right now who, if you really serious, you got black educators right now. You can say, you know what? How can I help you? How many people have went to a black teacher and said, how can I help you? How can we give you school supplies? Like, if you run out of something, let us know. We're going to put together a Facebook group to where we're going to support black educators, and we're going to give them the supplies they need if they run out. Right?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Okay. So how about he analyzed the fact that he had a Trump rally? Oh, I'm going to tell you. Listen, I'm going to tell you. Let me get to that. I love this. Let me tell you one thing. Let me tell you one thing about Trump. Let me tell you one thing about Trump that I like. Trump gonna shoot straight. He ain't watered down. Listen, I don't care about, you know, all of the, see what they do. This is what they do, right? They question you about Trump. You can't name me. Joe Biden right now is the Democratic nominee for president of the United States. You can't tell me, nobody can get on here right now and challenge me on the policies that that Joe Biden and his years in Senate has put and pushed that can do anything, that can match anything that Trump has done. When you start talking about racism, look at some of Joe Biden has bragged about how he put black people into legal slavery. Slavery with the crime bill.
He hasn't bragged about that.
He did. He apologized when he ran for president. He apologized.
No, I want to clarify that point. Because that's something I want to make sure that okay. just a point of clarification, right? Just a point of clarification. Okay. The 1994 crime bill, which Joe Biden did author, right?
Yeah.
As we all know, the legislative process. We both understand the legislative process, right? When you write a bill a certain way, and it gets improved on the side that you write it. Correct? That bill now has to go over, right, through Senate, get approved by Senate, then go over to the House, get approved, get changed up, and get approved by the House. Then it goes to the president. So when Biden first wrote that bill, it was not to militarize the United States police force, which it did when it ended up being done. It was not to build more state prisons, which it actually didn't end up building. It built more state prisons, but it built less federal prisons. So it was designed to create less federal prisons. It also was designed to stop what was a really, really big, and this is something that really has to be understood. The level of crime that was happening in the early 1990s when this was happening. The NAACP championed this bill. The Black Caucus, every member of the Black Caucus voted for this bill. Every member.
They Democrats.
Right.
That's the thing. They Democrats.
Right.
They're gonna see. They're not gonna stand up. They're not gonna stand up to white supremacists in their own party. Just like a lot of time, the Republicans won't stand up to white supremacists in their party. Let me tell you something like this. I was in prison with people. I was in federal prison. I was in federal prison with people that were doing life sentences with $20 worth of rock. $20. Yeah, you can say, okay, oh, these guys shouldn't have did the crime. But guess what? You can't justify giving a man a life sentence for a $20 bag of rock.
And that'll be the three factor, right?
You can't. And this is the thing. The Clinton crime bill, when he signed off on it, y'all know what? He took education out of the prison system. I was there. Pale Grade, you could no longer get your education in prison. They didn't want you to learn. He didn't. They pushed hard for stop and frisk. They pushed for that real hard. So you can't tell me right now, if we sit back and we go line for line and blow for blow, and you put Joe Biden with Donald Trump, bro, you ain't gonna win.
I think you could if you.
So listen.
if you would have a contextual conversation about it, and that's
Let's
the
have
question.
it.
The question is, are we just going to throw out bullet points, or are we going to actually go into the context of what actually happened? Because
let's go into context. Let's go into context. Let me tell you something too. Let me tell you something with Joe Biden, and Barack Obama was involved in.
Okay.
Some call Operation Fast and Furious.
I know.
See, the liberals, they tell you, oh man, see the gun control and we against guns and this and that.
Mm-hmm.
But don't you know Eric Holder was behind one of the worst or the most one of the most scandalous schemes that flooded our communities with guns. They allow guns to come from the southern states and Texas and all of that into Mexico and in the hands of Mexican cartel drug lords.
Yeah.
They allowed that to happen. The guns were recovered in black communities along the borders in California and New Mexico and Texas. The only reason that Fast and Furious got stopped is when a Border Patrol agent got killed. Yeah, but you can absolutely. So hold on. Okay, I'm gonna let you jump. I'm gonna let you jump in.
You good, bro? So what I'm saying is that again, context, right? Context. What was the original purpose of Operation Fast and Furious?
To capture Mexican drug lords by putting guns in their hands.
Right, to capture Mexican drug lords. That was the plan. It backfired. Bad plan. But guess what? And this is the difference between. Did Eric
Holder lie about it?
I think he was censored. I think he originally lied about it. Right?
He did. He lied about it. He lied about it.
But that was one of those things because even President Obama's been held to task about that one, right?
Yes, he was.
When held to task about it, President Obama did not say, no, this is da-da-da. No, he owned it. He was like, you know what? We had a different plan for this. It didn't work out the way we wanted it to go. It was a bad plan. We need to go back. We need to look at where it went wrong. And
he said he didn't know. At first he said he didn't know about it. Go look it up. At first he said he didn't know about it. He said, I didn't know about that. That's Eric Holder. He said he didn't know nothing about it. Once we get off, go check it out. Check it out. He said he didn't know nothing about it. Yeah, we can revisit. He said he didn't know nothing about it. So my whole thing is, right, people get caught up on the race baiting, right? Because a white person tell you, oh man, Trump is racist or somebody racist, you believe that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But see, they don't. But you can't. I would support Trump any day over Joe Biden. Eric said something. A lot of people in the schools, a lot of people in the schools and communities, we have to just respect everyone's roles in the fight. That's right, Big E.
No,
you're right.
Absolutely. So the thing is this, right? Again, for me, it always comes back to when you're a president, you got to be a president, man. Like you got to be a president. You can say that President Trump did a great job with the economy. I would say that that's a continuation of what was going to happen at the end of the Obama presidency. We look at what happened. You look at the numbers. It's what happened. So now we have the coronavirus thing that came up, right? And the president's response to the coronavirus, we won't even talk about the impeachment stuff because that really gets into partisan stuff, and I don't want to have that conversation, especially not here. But when we talk about his response to the coronavirus, he's literally said, this is a hoax. It's not real. There's 15. Right? This is not real. We have 15 people. It's only 15 people infected. It's going to go away. We're going to wake up in the morning. It's going to be gone. And then we get 2 weeks later, and he's like, I knew the whole time how bad it was. You can't do both things and call yourself a good leader. If I'm the leader, the people who I'm leading should at least be able to trust the words that come out of my mouth. And that's my problem with our president. And I always respect the fact that he's our president. I'll never, disrespect the office of the presidency. I am a former military member, so I have a certain level of respect for the office of the presidency. But there are certain things that our president has done that have not been presidential. This coronavirus, the way his handling of it, is one of those things. The fact that he's not even allowing the most educated person on the topic, Dr. Fauci, to speak about this topic on the stage or in front to other people anymore is mind blowing.
Dr. Fauci just spoke. He just spoke the other day at the press conference. Let me. Yeah, the other day he just spoke the other day.
Yeah.
So let me tell you like this, right? Yeah. Man, the coronavirus caught everybody off guard.
Absolutely, it did.
Can nobody say Democrat, Republican? Everybody was caught off guard. Agreed. I remember. Even we think when President Trump said something about the coronavirus during the State of the Union address, nobody really took it serious, you know. And so that's what they said. Oh, here the pandemic team, what they could have did nothing. Just check this out. Okay, let's say that. Let's look at the pandemic team. Obama put together a pandemic team, right? Yeah. That's what they say. Look at the deaths from the swine flu and Obama. Look how many Americans that died from the swine flu, the H1N1 and all of that. Mm-hmm. The numbers pale in comparison to what we have now. Let me tell you like this. The World Health Organization, they even told us that the swine, when China told us that the disease could not be transmitted from human to human. Mm-hmm. That's what they told us. That was in December. Mm-hmm. The information coming out of China was bogus. So nobody knew. I even posted a video on my timeline when Nancy Pelosi at the end of February, she jumped on and said, oh no, it's not that serious. Everybody come visit the Chinatown. We got everything. Go on my page. She said that. So none of them, Trump, Pelosi, all of them, nobody can see. Hindsight is always 20/20. But when you look at it, none of our politicians, nobody was talking about it on the Democratic side, on the debate stage. The Republicans ain't really been talking about it. It caught everybody off guard.
Agreed.
Trump, and does Trump say a lot of stuff that I'm like, oh my God, oh, what did he just say? Of course, everybody does. People in his own party disagree with him.
Yes.
I mean, it's just like there were Democrats who disagree with Obama. They didn't, everybody like Obama now, but when he was office, you know, and I know all them people that like Obama.
I agree.
They like him now. But so my whole thing is this. For one, at the end of the day, no matter who's in the chair, bro, we still should win.
We gonna do work. We do work regardless. That's the thing. Like we do work regardless. That's why I can't tie myself to this guy. I can't tie myself to this guy because everything that I stand for as a man and as a human being, he goes against.
All right, so you stand for Joe Biden, right? You stand for Joe Biden?
I'll stand by Joe Biden. Yeah.
Oh, let me ask you this. Yeah. Joe Biden said that he likes when little kids rub on his leg at the pool and play with his leg.
Context.
No, that's what he said. Context. Let's keep it again. And he said he likes when little kids sit on his lap. Right. So. I mean, come on now. Bruh. What grown man brags about he like little kids at the pool rubbing on his leg, playing with his hair, and he like little kids sitting on his lap? But that's suspect. But come on now, that's suspect.
Context though, because that he said that. Now again, context. Right. I can make anybody sound crazy if I take their words out of context. Right? Come on now, you know you can't do this with me.
Words, bro.
Yeah, but you can't. You know you can't do this with me though. You know that. Come
that's
on. Now.
I mean, I don't know, man. I don't trust nobody like that, man. I can't stand. See, Creepy Joe, man. The dude, I don't know, man. I just can't. I can't get with the dude, man.
If the man, listen. If this dude said something, and you know me. If this dude said something that was harmful to kids, or that he was into hurting little kids, or into molesting little kids, would I stand behind that person?
I know you wouldn't. I know you wouldn't. But see, you kind of. But see, the thing is, all right. Let me ask you this: when Joe Biden said Barack Obama was the first mainstream black person that's clean and articulate, did you agree with that?
No, but I also think that white people don't know what they be saying a lot of times. You know that, man.
Oh, she's
no. Hold on, whoa. We talk microaggressions. We being 100. You my bro, so we do this.
Oh,
right?
Yeah.
Right. Microaggressions. We know, like the movie Get Out. My man was like, I voted for Obama both times. So I would have voted for him for a third time. There are people, white people especially, and correct me if y'all think I'm wrong, they say things that they don't realize what they're saying a lot of times. I don't like that, but I understand it. What I don't like is when people say things and when I show them that what they said was wrong, they come and tell me, no, you're wrong for being offended with the fact that I said it. Impact versus intent, right? Impact versus intent. If I say something to you that is disrespectful, right? Or if I say something to you that I don't mean disrespectfully, but you take it as me disrespecting you, I automatically as a man should be like, my bad. I didn't realize that went that way. I'm wrong. Off the top, out the gate, if me and you start talking right now and you take something that I say as disrespectful to you as a man and as a human being, I would stop. I don't care how right I think I am. I'm going to stop right there and say, you know what, bro? I'm sorry. That's not what I meant. Right? You know me well enough to know that. I would stop.
So let me ask you a question. When Joe Biden was on the debate stage and he was talking about education, and he said that basically mothers in the inner city, we need to bring DSS in to help them learn how to be parents and all of that stuff. He was
the corn pop one.
He said that's what he said. I mean, no, the corn pop was the kids rubbing on his leg and stuff.
No, that wasn't corn pop. Corn pop was like the first and second debate. Corn pop was the first and second debate. I think that was the same debate where Kamala went after him. I think it was that debate.
Okay, but I know one of them they went. One of them they went against him. But Joe Biden was like, "Yo, for education, we need to bring DSS in the homes of single black women to teach them how to raise their kids. We need to keep on the record player at night and play the record player."
That's the corn pop one. That's the corn pop. That's corn pop.
Okay, so did you agree? Do you agree with that? That we need to bring DSS in the homes of black women and keep the record player on at night.
So I haven't seen again, but I think this is much. I mean, I think this speaks to a larger point. Everybody has their warts, right? Everybody has their warts. That's not a great statement. I don't think anybody on Biden's team was like, "Yo, you nailed that point." I don't think one person thought that. But what I do think is this. I think that Joe Biden is the type of person that if he got into office, he would listen to people smarter than him. He seems to be somebody that would genuinely there's not a whole lot of white dudes that would have sat 8 years behind a black president, not criticized him once, not came out and tried to undermine him. None. Like I can't think of a whole lot of people that would have done that. Even looking at Mike Pence, I don't think there's a whole lot of people that sat behind Donald Trump and did that. So I think that deserves a level of respect for Biden. I think Biden has the intellect to know that I don't know everything, right? I don't have to be the smartest person in the room. That's what I see from Joe Biden. He doesn't have to be the smartest person in the room all the time. President Trump, on the other hand, has to be the smartest person in the room all the time, even when he's not the smartest person in the room. He has to be the person with the thing to say that people are going to talk about. And if you look at his history, and this is again me talking about the things that I disagree with when it comes to President Trump. I think for me, I can't back what he stands for. That's not the conservative party. I also think that Donald Trump isn't a conservative. So
a lot of conservatives say that Donald Trump isn't a conservative. I talk to conservatives all the time. A lot of them say,
you just pushed for a $2 trillion bill. That's not a conservative thing to do.
But he had to, though.
Yeah,
no, but this is the thing. Yeah, he had to. He had to.
I agree.
He has to.
That's not a conservative thing to do. So when people like, I think President Trump is, when you talk about being the smartest person in the room, he is masterful. He is genius in his messaging. He is genius and masterful in the way that he promotes himself. But we've known that Donald Trump's been a master promoter for over 40 years now. This isn't brand new news to us, right? He's a master promoter. He knows how to get across the thing that he wants to get across. He knows how to be the person that people are talking about. That's why you will hear him in the course of a presidential State of the Union talk about the ratings of people watching his press conferences. Like, that's nuts that our president thinks about that. What president?
But this is the thing. Everybody want good ratings. Everybody want good ratings. That ain't nothing new. After every presidential, speech or State of the Union, they say, okay, well, this had more ratings than this and that, this and that.
The president doesn't say that. But the president doesn't say it.
Well, this the thing. I can't knock him for nothing small like that.
No,
you know what I'm saying? He's talking about ratings.
I'm not knocking him for that. I'm just saying that his concern, I think his concerns are in the wrong place. Now, does he have a team of people around him that I believe could do a good job if he would let them? Yes. I believe that he has a team outside of the director of HUD, which is nuts, and the director of education, the secretary of education. Outside of those two people, they know what their mission is, and they go out there and they do their job when it comes to that mission. So when you talk about straight up conservatives, cool. All right. But that guy is not a straight up conservative.
Well, like I said, I totally understand your point. Like I said, I talk to a lot of conservatives who they say he's not fiscally conservative at all. My whole thing is, at this point, I can't trust Biden. I think Biden has dementia. I think he's. And unfortunately, I watched my grandmother, pass on something like that. You know what I'm saying? And it's really scary because I watched the same thing. I think Biden has dementia, and the things he says really scares me. Yeah. Like Joe Biden turned around and said, okay, I think poor kids are just as smart as white kids.
Yeah, that's a bad statement.
See, when you say stuff like that, see, Joe Biden has a history of being involved with racists. He has a history of even Kamala Harris attacked him on that. Like, bro, you was hanging hard with the segregationists. Y'all was best buddies. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So hold on. Let me. And I'm not saying people can't change, right? Yeah. But
context too, though.
Context
too, though. Right.
Okay. Context. So the thing is, him saying things like that, bro. You looking at the historical side of what Joe Biden did and who he hung with and what he represented, bro. You can't overlook that. In my mind, I think Trump is a better businessman.
Okay.
I think he's better for the economy. Now I know he's filed bankruptcy and all that. I mean, shoot. I think he's better for the economy. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Prison reform. I'm a side with Trump. You know what I'm saying?
I'm actually. So I feel you on that. But also remember now, you talk about the Second Step Act, right? That was the second one, right? The prison reform bill.
Yeah, because there was Obama dropped it from.
And then Trump came and did the second one.
Trump came and cut it some more. Trump came and cut that thing some more.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. We agree there.
I think both of them were wins. Both of them were wins.
Absolutely.
See, I look at the big picture. I ain't gonna sit here and argue, about that because I think both of them will win.
But that's what I want you. But that's what I want you. But that's really what I want people to see from you, though. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like for me, and we talking. You my bro, and I can be completely honest with you. The stuff that bothers me is when people look at the things that you're saying and you backing Trump and being like, oh, well, he agrees with everything that Trump says. And what I know is that can't be the case, because you've lived too much of a life to really be 100% in the bag for this guy.
Well, hold on. Let me tell you like this. I don't even agree with my mama 100%.
Oh, I agree.
Like nobody agrees. Like you just said. You said I support Joe Biden, but there's some things he said that you like. Hold on, I can't. That was kind of.
Right. But guess what?
We humans, right?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, but the thing is, I honestly, in my heart, believe, and this is the difference. If I met with Joe Biden, let's say, because it's very possible, that I'm going to end up in a room with Joe Biden. And I said to Joe Biden, sir, that statement that you made about, black kids being as smart, poor kids being as smart as black kids. Could you please elaborate on what you meant by that? I think the first thing he'd do is realize that was a terrible thing to say. And he'd backtrack from it and try to at least make sense of the thing that he said, as opposed to, one, acting like he never said it, or two, doubling down on the nonsense that he said. And that's what we've seen from our president, which is the things when I talk about the things that I try to exemplify as a man. When it comes to my children, I teach them, if you make a mistake, you own your mistake, you apologize for your mistake, and you improve on your mistake. You don't make that same mistake twice. Joe Biden definitely has had some slip of the tongues. We know that he has an issue with a stutter. We know these things, right? But do we ever ask the follow-up questions to ask, is this what's really in your heart? Or do we just say, headline, let's take it and let's run with it? Same thing with President Trump. If we ask President Trump about something that he said, he either says, I didn't say that. He'll say, I didn't say that. Or he'll try to make it sound like what he said was something else, which is completely untrue. And that's the problem.
Let me stop you.
Yeah.
There has been so many things that the news media takes a Trump and twist. The other day, I was talking to somebody and they said, yeah, Trump said if you got coronavirus, you can still go to work. That was all over. But he didn't say that.
No, he didn't say that. Right. But that's where people like us have to be like, nah, back up. Come on now. We'll give you credit for the stuff that you did say, but I'm not gonna give you credit for stuff you didn't say. But that's again coming back to, what is my ideal? What am I trying to get out of this situation? Am I just interested in making this person look bad, or am I actually interested in being educated on what these people think and know and do? There's a difference. You see what I'm saying?
Totally agree.
That's why I mean you can have this conversation without it turning into a shouting match or turning into us disrespecting one another.
Never happen.
Because we both come to the table with an understanding of, one, this is the world that we live in, right? This is the world that we live in. We're not going to change the world that we live in, so we got to maximize our opportunities in this world, right? We're not creating a new structure. We are not creating a brand new structure. That's not going to happen. People talk about, well, we need to create our own. Cool. Well, once y'all develop the program that's going to be our own program, that's going to be a viable option to allow us to be sustainable on our own, including our own police force, military, agricultural system, economic system, education system, and all these other systems that you need to have a functionally a sufficiently functioning society, then yeah, holler at me and I will jump on board with you. But what I'm not going to do is let this whole world that's existing with us in it, with my children in it, with my children being educated in it, with my jobs being paid for by it, but with people that I know being imprisoned by it, and say, oh, well, we're going to completely ignore that system and build our own. We can't do that. And so me and you walk both into this thing, and we have different ideas as to how to make that happen, but we're both doing the work. We're both doing the work in the way that we think it needs to be done. Whether that be Brexit, or whether that be rolling with the Democratic Party, or whether that be going independent or libertarian, your issue, the solution cannot be 100% political. There's no silver bullet to solving any of these problems that we've talked about here on this podcast. There's not one. Whether it be like, we can vote the greatest president of all time into office, But there are so many people down the line that got to be right in order for them to be able to have any impact. Look at the last 2 years of President Obama. They said, we're not letting you do nothing, bro. We're not letting you do nothing. We're not going to let you select any Supreme Court justices. We're not going to let you approve any bills. We're not going to let you do nothing. You can sit there, you can get on Air Force One, and you can fly around this country as many times as you want to. You can give as many speeches as you want to. You can send us as many bills as you want to. But McConnell said, nope, nothing. So what that tells me is people like us, however we operate, and I think you're absolutely right that we have to have people on the others, and I always say the other side, people as conservatives who are also speaking towards the issues of African Americans. I want to ask you this because I don't want to stay there too long.
Uh-huh.
What do you say to people who say that as a conservative, there's no way you can speak to the issues of African Americans? Like if you're at a biker rally, right? Because there's a video of you speaking at the biker rally, right? How do you advocate to those people that there are issues in the Black community that they need to also care about and advocate for?
The same way you talk to a liberal and talk to them about issues we got in the community. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
Same thing. The same thing. I'm gonna tell you like this. You know why I support Chris Cox? And Chris Cox, good guy, biker. He started the Bikers for Trump movement. Chris is a good guy. I'm gonna tell you like this. Everybody was capping for Joe Cunningham. When has Joe Cunningham has never spoken about Black issues. Joe Cunningham has never stepped foot in the Black community. Never. Ain't even Joe Cunningham. Yeah, he might talk to his Black constituents, but Joe Cunningham ain't never stepped foot in the Black community his 2 years he's been in Congress. Okay. You ain't all Joe Cunningham talked about is offshore drilling. So you know what? Guess what, Joe? I got somebody who I'm gonna talk to, and we're gonna put you to task. See, we're gonna force your hand now, because see, Chris is willing to come and talk to the Black people that Joe Cunningham won't talk to. Chris is ready. Chris Cox said, I'm ready. Shakim, I'm ready. Mm-hmm. Let's go. See, the thing is, we take them and we say, okay, Chris Cox, you know President Trump, you and Trump cool. How are you going to get behind an initiative for prison reform? Because Trump talked about prison reform. Yeah. What can you speak on to that? What will you help us with as far as prison reform? Economy. Trump always talk about, man, we did this. Black people economy going high. This is what we do. Okay, Chris, how can we continue job growth and economics in the Black community? Trump opened the door for a lot of this conversation with a lot of Republicans, to be honest with you. Mm-hmm. He opened the door by clearly speaking out and say, Black people, what do you got to lose? Let's talk about this, and this. He made it a hot topic for Blacks and Republicans to start talking about Black issues. Trump did that. Mm-hmm. So now you could talk to somebody like a Nancy Mace, or you could talk to a white Republican about Black issues because Trump opened the door. So now, you say, you know what? Listen, let's sit Chris Cox down and Joe Cunningham down. See, Joe Cunningham ain't never had the pressure to come and talk to Black people. Mm-hmm. Ain't nobody put the pressure on. All Joe Cunningham ever talked about was offshore drilling. That's it. That's the only, he was a single issue winner. So now I got a man who come and say, you know what, Shakim, I'm gonna come and talk to the Black community. I'm gonna come and talk to the people. What? Question me. He's all open for it. He all open. He's saying, you know what? Come bring me in the community and let me talk to them and let the black people ask me anything they want me to ask.
Well, let's do this.
Okay.
Reach out to him, and I'd love to have him on the show to talk about his platform. Because one thing I always say is Real Talk with Rajan is a bipartisan show. I am a Democrat, but I do not shun. I've had several Republicans on my show. Actually, the gentleman who's running against I've had both Jimmy Harrison and Joe Reynolds, who are both running on opposite sides of the on my show. I've had both of them on my show, and because I really in my heart believe that there is something that needs to be said, that all people need to consider the African American community as viable options for votes. We that has to be the case. I think that's the one thing that the Blexit community has said repeatedly that I absolutely agree with. Absolutely agree with the fact that African Americans should not just vote for the Democratic Party because we're black. I think by doing that, we put ourselves at the risk of being neglected by the Democratic Party and ignored by the Republican Party. I completely agree with that part of it. I think that we also need to hear these people out. And like you just said, Chris Cox, if he's willing to come into the black community, the vast majority of my audience is African American. I'd love to have him on the show to talk about his platform and how he plans on doing and putting in place. As the senator to replace Joe Reynolds. I definitely agree with that.
No, he running against Cunningham.
I'm sorry, Cunningham, not Joe Reynolds. I'm sorry.
He ran
against in Cunningham's slot. Like, what would he do to represent those people of that area? I know that's mostly the Daniel Island area, correct? And like expanding out that way, talking about offshore drilling.
Yeah, but Cunningham got some North Charleston. He got some North Charleston and West Ashland too. Yeah, Mount Pleasant. Yeah. But this is the thing. Yeah, this is the thing. Ain't nobody challenged Joe Cunningham to come and talk to the black people. Let me see something. How do you feel about the work continuing and speaking to people? How do you feel about the work continuing and speaking to people about social distancing? The work continuing and speaking to people about social distancing.
Could you elaborate just to make sure just to make sure we understand what you're asking? But I think you're like people continuing to go to work while saying social distance. I think that's what she's saying. I'm gonna wait for her to elaborate.
Okay.
There's a big comment here. So let me read this one. Let's see. Excuse the profanity. Only people with weak minds fall for this. Blank. Mayor Tecklenburg tried it with me. Invited me to a press conference, meetings, photo ops when I was working with the homeless in Tent City. The difference between you and I is, yes, I attended, but I didn't let them change my narrative. I didn't change my mission or views or words because they were on my side, because they opened the door for me. I came, participated, and my voice didn't change. Yeah. All right.
Hey, let me tell you like this. Kim, I don't want to say it like this, but I'm on a larger scale than you. You know what I'm saying? See, I'm on a larger scale than you, Kim. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to say but I mean, I'm gonna have. It's like you can't compare somebody who's out here having to listen. I just stopped 50 people from getting evicted in Horizon Village. I just totally sat back and I had the issue with Horizon Village, and we just made an impact to where we stopped people from getting evicted and we helped people to stay in their apartment complexes because it was an issue with the landlords and the tenants in Section 8. See, I move on a larger. I see a lot of people don't understand. I move on a larger scale than them. You know what I'm saying? I just got to be honest. See, I'm in the big leagues, right? See, you talking about serving a plate at Tent City. You know what I'm saying? Years ago, like I'm the one who was the first one down there. Me, Pastor Ravenel, and Lisa. We was the first ones that started that. See, I move on a larger level now. You know what I'm saying? I pay $3,000 a month for my utility bills. You know what I'm saying? And a bill. See, you don't move on the type of level that I move on, so you can't compare me and you. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, see, that's the problem with a lot of people. See, the reason why she hasn't gone anywhere, you know what I'm saying, in this particular game that we in are trying to help the community because everybody wants to make it into a competition. But the thing is, like, I understand this is bigger than Shakim. You know what I'm saying? Just I can work with somebody and we still agree to disagree. But see that mindset, you know, you take my work and you take what I'm doing right now, and then you take what she's doing. Like she can't even like her work, the level, the scale that I'm on is way larger than where she's at. So she can't compare. You can't compare, and I'm not. I hate to sound like that. You know what I'm saying? But because I was where she used to be at. You know what I'm saying? Like criticizing somebody, you know, for working with, you know, somebody. Oh man, you know, you sell this and that. But then when you start moving on a larger scale, you got to sit back and say, just like boom. And I'm gonna just put this out there. I'm about to start. You know, I don't want to put it out, but I'm gonna put it out there. But I'm about to attack the affordable housing game. That's my next move. Mm-hmm. My next move. Shakim is going to be building affordable housing. That's the next move. So you know what? I got to talk to certain developers who we might not see eye to eye. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, the people going to benefit from the affordable housing. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be areas where people can live. Like that. That's the next step. See, when you move on another level, and when you move on higher levels, you can't think small. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You can't think small. You go and you talk as a diplomat. Hey, this is what I believe. This is what I like. You know, hey man, we make it happen. You know what I'm saying? But I can't move the way how they moving because they, you know, you fixing a dinner in your house and taking it outside to a homeless person. I done left that. I done left that years ago. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm trying to build institutions. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I'm trying to put together, you know, computer labs and STEM programs and stuff. See, I'm not moving on the level that they on no more.
Yeah.
So I don't want to say it. I don't want to. You know, yeah. I don't want to sound like that. But I'm not on that level that they on. You know what I'm saying?
I know what you mean, and I know what you're trying to say, and I know what you're trying to not sound like.
Right?
Yeah. So I know. Right. I want to stop right there to say this real quick. Right. There are levels to the game. There are levels to every game, to every facet of life. There's levels, you know, to home ownership. There's levels to business ownership. There's levels to even in the nonprofit sector. When you go from from you know, working say in youth development, I go from just working with kids to getting my 501c3 to you know, being able to receive government grants to being able to become a government contractor. There's definitely levels to what we're talking about, right? There's definitely levels to what we're talking about. But what we don't want to do, right? And I know this is not what you were trying to do, so I want to make sure I clarify.
Yeah, you don't want to. Yeah.
Each level is important, though. Each level is equally important. But when you go from level to level to level, there are certain things that you can't do on certain levels that you could do on other levels. There's certain, like, the less tied to other people you are, the more flexibility you have to do whatever it is you want to do. Case in point, Shakim, when Shakim was the guy with the bullhorn, Shakim could cuss anybody out that he wanted to. Shakim come out, he can cuss you out, he can cuss your mom out, he can cuss your grandma out, he can cuss everybody out, he could run over here, he could snatch flags, and he could fight the brothers of the Confederacy, and he could do all of that. Well, now Shakim, where he's trying to go with it, and this is what I hear you saying, and correct me if I'm incorrect, where you're trying to go with this is you're trying to be able to institutionally change the lives of people in the positions that you care about. And in order to do that, there's certain people you're going to have to work with. There's certain certain entities you're going to have to engage that you otherwise wouldn't have had to. And I can understand that. And I want to say again, do I agree with 100% of your moves? No. But what I'm not going to do, ever do, is tear down the people doing the work. And I know your heart. I know your heart. People, you know, the idea of, you know, you're doing X, Y, and Z for recognition. Nope, I haven't seen Shakim get one award. I haven't seen people, and there have been mad awards that have happened. I've received a few of them. I haven't seen Shakim get one award. Like, I haven't received him. Get any accolades. I haven't received him receive any checks. I haven't received. All I've seen this man do is get up every day and take his free time to try to impact the lives of others. Has that made him enemies along the way? Definitely, because that happens. But I stand by this guy. I want to say this here on this camera. I stand by this man. And I stand by this man because I know his heart. You could say, well, he got the camera. Well, people have cameras. Would you rather him put the camera away and not do anything?
I got it. Let me address that too, right? Because people see when you standing on the side of the road, right? You know, giving out dinners. I used to do it too. I was the man. I started off giving out blankets 1 o'clock in the morning at the Super Stop. I'm gonna be honest with you. When I was going to the North Charleston Super Stop feeding the people, nobody was out there. I started that. Nobody was out there. Now, on any given Sunday or Saturday, you see people out there. But I'm gonna tell you like this: it's a difference for me having a if you get you're not gonna go and get a $20,000 grant and you can't show none of your work.
Absolutely.
You can't. Absolutely. You can't go to no reputable person or people and say, you know what, man, I want you to give me $30,000 for a project that I got that I want to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're gonna be like, show me what you're doing. You gotta be able, it's another level. See, it's a difference. Yeah, it's a difference when you gotta start, you know, keeping taxes, keeping record of donations. You know, moving into the nonprofit world is a different monster because now, because when people, you got to have people got to know you and see. You got to have tax information to show people. You got to be able to have paperwork. You got to have pictures. I mean, you got to have your website running. You got to be able to show people how you moving. So a lot of people there say, "Oh man, them boys for the camera and this and that." But see, it's a different, like you said, it's different levels to this. See, when you get on a level where you dealing with 5 and 6 figures, and you trying to get 30,000, 50,000, are you trying to get money to pay administration fees for volunteers to help people out? You got to be able to show this stuff. You can't go to a person who's saying, okay, we got a $60,000 grant, you know, we're going to give out. I can't just go and say, okay, let me get that. And, you know, they're going to say, well, how do we know you doing this? Where's your paperwork? How much donations you had in the past? Mm-hmm. What's your budget look like? What's your forecast look like? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You got to show you got programs going on. So, like I said, people, but see, when I started moving up and going into a different stratosphere, I started seeing like, whoa, like I'm in new territory. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? This ain't no you with the bullhorn or you know, I got my mom cooking dinners on the stove and me walking outside. But we getting 15 tons of food. But the food bank would never just give us 15. Ain't no Negro gonna walk up to the food bank and say, we need 15 tons of food. They're gonna be like, who are you? Yeah. But you gotta have a track record to get all of this stuff. You gotta be able to show and prove that you can handle this type of work. You gotta have 52-foot refrigerated trucks that you can load up. They don't think on that type of level because they don't understand. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. They don't understand.
How I guess this is my question.
All right.
How do you get the people who believe what you believe? Who believe in the work that you do and also want to see that work thrive and grow? How do you get them in? You're frozen, so make sure you get back somewhere where you got a signal because I can't see you. How do you get those people? You still here? Hopefully you're still here. How do you get those people?
I'm back. I think it went out.
Sorry,
Okay,
yeah. What I was asking is, how do you get those people who believe in the work that you do and want to see your work thrive? How do you bring those people on board to what you're doing and get them to understand how what you're doing is going to add to the collective good?
Sometimes it only happens until they get in need.
Yeah.
See, a lot of time the work gonna speak, right? See, a lot of times somebody be talking trash, and then next thing you know, their grandmother who's disabled or handicapped say, "Oh, you know what? I always go down there to that boy down there, or Whipple Bonnie Lane, and I always get stuff from them. Oh, that's a good boy down there. Oh, not see that happens all the time. So the thing is, the work manifests itself, or it could be your aunt. You know what I'm saying? Oh, you know what? My son go down there to their after school program. No, that's a good man down there. See, the work is always going to balance out. The universe always. So even right now, the same people who might slander or come against me, bruh, they might have a uncle or somebody in their family. They need the service we provide them.
Yeah.
But but right now, that's why like a lot of time I sit back and I laugh for stuff when I see it, right? Because the universe always has a way of correcting itself.
Mm-hmm.
So I've seen it so many times with my own eyes. So the people who, because I do the work, I mean, I'm in North Charleston.
Yeah.
So, and people from the city, people from Somerville, all of them people come to the Community Resource Center. And so I'm Charleston ain't that big. North Charleston ain't that big. I'm impacting somebody's family
every day.
So every day, some way, shape, or form. I'm gonna impact your family in a way. So
It is what it is, man. We could do this for hours, bro.
Yeah, like, I know you gotta go, man.
I know we could do this. My wife just called me. It's 10 o'clock. I haven't eaten dinner.
Oh, man.
I want to go ahead, but I want to, before I close, man, I want to give you an opportunity to make your closing statement, to the audience. Thanks everybody who's watching, but I'll do my close in a second. I just want to make sure you get your opportunity to make your close to the audience.
Okay. So my close is this. Man, you got to do the work. You got to do the work. Do what you love to do. Don't worry about what nobody say. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, you got to please yourself. When you are your element, nobody can stop you. Yeah. I always tell people this. But you ain't gonna never be able to please everybody. But the thing is, if you a real hustler and you love what you do, and your desire and your heart is in the right place, you're going to be unstoppable. Absolutely. You're going to be unstoppable. And another thing to a lot of people, because I see, we sometimes down each other and stuff like that. And I've done it to myself. And, I apologize to people who I have done.
Yeah.
But this is what I'm going to tell you like this. When you operating in your element, bro, nobody's going to be able to stop you. Bad publicity turns into good publicity. Bro, I see it all the day. Sometimes I even sprinkle a little something out there, some bait, because I know people gonna catch the bait. I do that. I purposely put a video up of me at a Trump rally. You don't think I knew what I was doing before I did that?
Yeah, I knew exactly.
Sometimes you don't know. When I posted, I recorded myself speaking at a Bikers for Trump rally against Joe Cunningham. Yeah, you think I posted that? I wanted you to see that.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, sometimes the haters are going to be the one to take you to the next level.
Yeah.
Sometimes they're the ones that pull you up and take you to the next level. All you got to do is put in the work. I'm going to leave like this. Floyd Mayweather said this one day, and I was watching. I was like, "Ooh," that was cool. He said this. He said, "Man." One of the guys talking about how he's flamboyant and flashy and people don't like him and this and that. And people say he fights boring and this and that. Floyd Mayweather said, you know what? He said, man, with me, all publicity is good publicity. He said, because A, people pay to see me win. He said people pay to see me lose, but he said at the end of the day, people gonna pay me because I'm Monty Mayweather.
There it is. There it is, bro. Hey, you said it. You said it. He did say that too. He definitely said that. Where'd my screen go? Okay, there we go. Oh man, I'm checking my screen right. All right, sorry. All this new technology, I'm just trying to figure it out. But you're absolutely right, man. If they want to follow you on social media, where can I find you, bro?
Man, I don't even need y'all finding me right now, man. I gotta take a break from now. Just message y'all. Hey man, Shakim Amen Aket. I got like 5 pages, man. I always get like shut down for some reason. I got Shakim Amen Aket. I got Shakim Aket. I got Jonathan Thrower. I got all kinds of stuff, man. One of them you can find me.
One of them you can find him, and that's my guy. That's my guy, guys. Shout out to Shakim. Shout out to the work that you guys are doing, man. And just again, I want to say before I even start my close, I just want to congratulate you guys on the work that you're doing. The North Charleston and the surrounding areas is definitely a better place because you guys are doing the work that you're doing in it. And I want to continually encourage you guys to keep that work going because without y'all, who gonna do it? Right? Who gonna do it? So I want to thank you with that. And with that,
yes, sir. All right, family.
Hold on 1 second. Let me do my clothes, bro. Don't get off.
Oh, yeah, my bad. All right.
Let me do my clothes. All right. Thank you guys so much for watching this week. Reminder that the show is now every week on Wednesday night at 7 p.m. Every week, Wednesday night at 7 p.m. I interview my local celebrities. I am not doing my Sunday night shows for now until I finish grad school, and then I get back to those. Next week, my local celebrity spotlight will shine on Jordan Jackson, local entrepreneurs, actually the young man who set the record for the youngest person to own a business in Norfolk Mall. Shout out to him. So I look forward to speaking to him and his mother, Ms. Keisha Smith, next week. If you are doing something in the community that you would like a light shined on, reach out to me on my website. That's www.realtalkwithrajan. That's www.realtalkwithrajan. If you join, jeez, did I put my? I was slipping. This and all my shows is in addition to the Car Chronicles series, is now available for your listening pleasure via Apple, Google, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and any place you can find podcasts. You can also find it on my website. That's www.realtalkwithrajan. If you'd like to be made aware of when I go live, because sometimes it is unscheduled, please make sure to click the follow or subscribe tab on the page so that you can and turn on your notifications so that you'll know when something new is posted to the page. In the meantime, please follow me to stay up to date with what's going on with Real Talk with Rajan on social media. Go to any site, type in Real Talk with Rajan, and I will pop up. If I'm not popping up now, I will never, ever pop up there. Feel free to leave comments, questions, or whatever else you'd like to say in the comment section or the message section. I love reading your messages and getting your feedback, even if it's negative. If you watch a show and you're like, hey, Rajan, I watched it, I loved it, let me know why. If you watch it and you say, hey, Rajan, I watched the show and I hate it, let me know why. Why? Because I do not wish to be told how great I am. I wish to become as great as I possibly can be, and that only happens with honest opinions. I'm also accepting invitations and speaking engagements and event hosting opportunities. If you would like for me to speak at or host your event, you can request me via my website. That's www.realtalkwithrajan. Always remember that God is everything, and without him we are nothing, so never forget where your help comes from. And if a man doesn't stand for something, he's bound to fall for anything. Thank you, brother, for joining me. Thank you all for watching me. And that's Real Talk. I will see y'all next week. Peace.
Peace.